What's up guys? I know it's been a minute since I made a video. I think my travel video would have just gone up. I went from making a video every single day to going a few weeks without making a video, but I've just been dealing with a lot of health issues lately. I'm still not 100%, but I'm feeling a lot better now. I'm actually going to hospital in 2 days for surgery to get rid of my kidney stone. A little bit nervous about it, but you know, I'm gonna get through it. And about a month ago, I promised you guys a question and answer video. So I thought today I'd hang out with you and answer some of your questions. I'm at Alfred Nicholas Garden up here in the Dandenong Mountains. It's one of my favorite places to stroll around. And I've also got my Osmo fixed as well. If you watched my Cambodia vlog, you would have seen how I broke it there, but DJI got it fixed pretty quick for me. So I was really grateful for that. But yeah, my first question comes from Faith Wilson, who always leaves really awesome comments on the channel. Shout out to Faith Wilson, I really appreciate you. And she said, what do I want out of life at the moment? And what do I want out of life? I mean, my number one always has been, always will be, to be a present dad. And I want to continue being able to live my life in the way where I can still be very present in Ava and Zoe's life and be a real dad. Two, I want to be more financially stable, so I'm working on that, figuring that all out. I'm working with a life coach now, as well as, you know, going to therapy, and we've been talking about, you know, career stuff as well. I want to be able to stay creating. That's when I feel the best, aside from, you know, when I'm in dad mode, when I'm creating. When I'm doing something that I really love, I get this creative high. Like 2 nights ago, I ticked something off my bucket list, like my all-time bucket list. I got to shoot for The Roots, who've been my favorite band since forever. Also got to hang out with them. And just, yeah, being out there shooting and creating and editing the photos afterwards, it gave me that creative high. And if you're a creative, you'll probably understand what I mean. So yeah, I want to feel that creative high more often. And I want to be able to help other people as well and find purpose in what I'm doing. I don't want my life to be self-serving or just serving those close to me. I want to be able to do things that somehow help others, because I think that's what life's all about, finding purpose in community. My next question is from Love Wins, and Love Wins asked, are you planning to get a new home just for you and your girls, or is Grandma Perkins moving to your new and more spacious place? So I've been living in my mum's kitchen for a little over a year now. And something that I've been trying to decide is, when I get my own place again, do I get a place in the area that we're living in, or do I try and get a small apartment in the city and live there on the week that the girls aren't with me, and then come back to my mum's on the week that they are. And I've been going back and forth on that. I've never felt at home in the area that I'm in, and as a creative, I've just felt like there's no opportunities for me there, especially in this stage where I feel like I'm having to double down and hustle twice as hard as I ever have before. And you know, I was pretty close to just trying to find a place to rent down here for us, because I really am ready to have my own my own space again. I love my mum. My kids love living with my mum as well. They love all that extra time that they get to spend with her, and she loves having us as well. But you know, I miss having my own space. Even just like times like this, I'd love to be able to sit down in a room in the house and make my video there, but I'm always having to go out and find parks and stuff, because I don't know, it's pretty depressing watching me sit on a mattress in a kitchen making videos, not just for the viewer, but for me as well. So I'm ready to have my own space again. And yeah, I made the decision. I'm gonna start looking for a place in the city, either a small apartment just for me, or maybe I'll even go into a shared space for a little while. And I'm just gonna double down on hustling. There's a lot more opportunities and networking opportunities for me in the city, and just going back and forth to the city every day. It's exhausting, the amount of travel and even the expense of tolls and fuel and parking. So yeah, that's the plan for now. I'm gonna be doing that, and then on the weeks where the girls are with me, I'm gonna be staying at my mum's place. Obviously, this isn't a long-term thing. The long-term goal is to be able to sort my life out and yeah, buy a property close to the kids' school. And you know, it would be a dream to be able to get a place and have like a you know, a separate little property for my parents, because they're getting older and they've really looked after us, and I'd love to look after them one day. So that's the long-term goal. But the short-term goal is I want to find a place in the city and just double down and hustle as much as I can. Richardson says, we'd like to see you make a self-care video, like what products you use for your skincare. You know what? My skin has been doing a lot better lately. If you've been watching for a while, you remember how bad the rosacea got and all of that. Maybe I will do a video like that soon. I think it's partly the products I've been using and partly learning to deal with and manage stress better. But Richardson also asked, what are my favorite brands when I get dressed up? I love AMI. That's my go-to. Absolutely love AMI. It is getting more and more expensive now. I can't really afford it anymore. But I love just their style. I love the way that everything is somewhat relaxed but dressy at the same time, and the quality's on point. And you know, when you find a label that just fits you, it's like you can like a label but it doesn't fit or suit you. I feel like AMI definitely just it sits nicely on me and fits my aesthetic. So that's definitely my favorite brand. But lately I've been wearing a lot of Uniqlo, which fits me quite well and a lot more affordable, not as durable. But yeah, I quite like Uniqlo too. The next question is from Max Stebrew. I'm sorry if I've just butchered the pronunciation of your name, but Max asked, what is the biggest lesson you've learned in life? I've learned a lot of lessons in life. Like, it's okay to put yourself first sometimes. The lesson that stands out even more than that is that things don't bring happiness. Money doesn't bring happiness. Clout doesn't bring happiness. Having all the toys, the big house, the fancy cars, all that stuff, it doesn't bring happiness. They're just like icing on the cake. They're bonuses. And if you don't have the cake, the icing doesn't mean that much. I've had all of that stuff. I've had the money, the cars, the house, all that stuff. But I was willing to give all of that up for my kids. It wasn't easy, but it was a no-brainer. You know, family is the most important thing in life. It's what really brings you joy. And, you know, there's people who have it all who aren't happy. And, you know, just my recent trip to Cambodia, that really hammered that in as well. Like, I met some amazing people who didn't have a lot, especially in Western world terms, but they had so much joy and kindness inside of them. Whereas you meet a lot of people in, you know, Australia, the US, whatever, who have it all, and they still seem like they really not just want, but need more. It's like they're lacking something. So while we all still need money, and it's still okay to want this stuff, you just got to remember that it's the icing on the cake. And without the cake, the icing, it's just a bunch of sugar that isn't really that great for you. Latoya asks, am I happy? I think the people pleaser in me wants to say yes, because I don't want to make people feel uncomfortable. But since you asked the question, I'm going to answer it honestly. And the honest answer is, I'm working on it. I think life's full of ups and downs, and I don't think anybody's ever truly happy all the time. I think sometimes the most depressed people are the ones who think that you're supposed to be happy all the time, that you find happiness and you stay in happiness. The reality is, happiness is an emotion, and emotions are constantly changing, and they change for a reason. Our not so happy times make us appreciate the happy times. If we're happy all the time, eventually we may get numb to that feeling and think that we're not happy. And so, yeah, I'm working on being happy more. I would like to be happy more. I have my happy moments too. But when I reflect on happiness, when I reflect on where I've been to where I am now, I feel like that's something to celebrate. A bit over a year ago, I struggled to imagine myself still here in a year's time. I don't feel like that anymore. Like, there's no part of me that doesn't want to be here in a year's time. Like, right now, I've got hope for the future, hope for all the things coming my way. Over a year ago, it was a place of hopelessness, helplessness. I didn't know how to make life better. I didn't think it could get better. I had just so much stuff stacked against me that it was like, yeah, thinking of myself here in a year's time, it wasn't that it wasn't something that I wanted, it was something that I didn't know if it was possible. I don't feel like that anymore. So going from that to where I'm at right now, like, that's such a big deal. So you can ask, am I happy now? And I could maybe say, no. But am I positive now? I could tell you yes. And that's such a big deal. And yeah, so that's the honest answer to that. Love Wins asks, would or have you ever experienced having a long distance relationship? And what are my thoughts on this? Look, if it works for you, it works for you. I have so much respect for people who can make long distance relationships work, because I feel like it would be really hard. But then again, I think COVID and lockdowns taught a lot of people that having super close relationships where you're around your partner 24/7 also can be a challenge too. So there's definitely some pros to having some distance between you and your partner, but long distance is probably not as much distances I would ideally want to have with a partner. I like touch. It's one of my love languages. I like to cuddle up on the couch. I like to hold hands. I like to feel physically close when I'm in love. It's one of the ways that I express my love. But have I ever been in a long distance relationship? By technicality, yeah. When I was about 16 or so, I was in a long distance relationship for a little while. Obviously it was a teenage thing, it wasn't serious. But yeah, while I've been single, there was a woman that I got quite close to who lived overseas. And, you know, those thoughts did cross my mind. I had to sort of decide whether I could potentially make a long distance relationship work, which I essentially decided I couldn't. I can't ever move overseas because of the kids, and I didn't feel like it was right to expect somebody to give up a really amazing life to move for me. So yeah, I have somewhat sort of experienced it, but I don't think overall I could do a long distance relationship. I want someone that I can really have in my life if I was to get in a relationship again. Right now, I'm not looking to get in a serious relationship. I'm kind of, you know, getting my life back on track right now. That's kind of the priority for now. We'll see what the future holds. Alicia Purley asked some very deep questions that actually got me thinking. Perhaps I'll answer those at a later date. I feel like they're questions I need to really sit down and think about. So I'll answer the second questions that you asked, Alicia, but I want to say thanks for asking such great questions. As a creator, I have a few questions. What's my favorite cameras for filming cinematic videos? I really love my Canon R6 Mark II, especially since I got the 28-70 2.0 lens. It's a little bit too tight to ever, you know, like hold it selfie style like this. It's also very heavy, but oh man, it's like having a prime lens and a zoom lens in one. It's an absolute beast. It makes everything look great. And what's my top filming and photography equipment this year? The DJI Osmo Pocket 3 that I'm filming on right now has been my favorite camera I've got in a long time. It's so small, easy to use, the quality is incredible. And it's funny because I had the previous versions of the Osmo Pocket, and DJI had actually asked me if I wanted to review the Pocket 3 before it even came out. I wasn't really a big fan of the previous versions. I was like, nah, I'm not interested. Then I started seeing people using it and I was just like blown away by it. And ever since I've had it, I've been in love. It's my favorite camera I've ever had for vlogging. One of the things that I like about it so much as well is the fact that it's so small. I don't know what it is about size, but when I'm holding a big camera, I feel somewhat intimidated talking to it. It's almost like you're talking to a gigantic person that you just met and you feel sort of small. Whereas with this little camera, there's nothing intimidating about it. And people in public don't get intimidated. Like when I use the bigger cameras, I'm walking around in public talking to myself or filming stuff. People are always looking. With this, it looks like something a tourist would use, and it doesn't get much attention. And yeah, as I said, the quality speaks for itself. Fun fact, I have sold so many of these cameras from going to creator events and people asking what this small camera I'm using is, and then they end up buying. Honestly, I need to set up an affiliate link for this camera with the amount of them that I've sold, as well as the Ray-Ban Meta glasses. The amount of people who've literally jumped on the website and bought them while talking to me has been crazy. They've been one that I kind of like, but love-hate relationship with them. There's some things I really don't like about them and some things I really love about them. I think I might do a review on those soon, so be on the lookout for that.
What you're doing here?
I make YouTube videos.
For anything in particular?
Just for me.
Are you like talking about how scary the place is?
Nah.
No, okay, alright, cool.
You found it scary?
Oh, it's just like, I've got deja.
Oh, the mansion's pretty scary. I think it used to be a military hospital.
Yeah, it was, but it was also like a hotel my parents stayed at for their wedding night apparently, which I didn't know. I found out earlier.
Wow.
I got like deja vu walking through these gates, and then I got deja vu.
That's
seeing
crazy.
the property.
Yeah, the property is super creepy.
Super
I get distracted by how beautiful the gardens are though.
Yes, that's what we should have been doing.
Yes,
Too distracted by the house.
but I wouldn't be surprised if it's haunted.
Have fun, mate.
See you guys. Sarah says, your audience is mostly African American. Do you want to expand your local audience and how do you see that happening? So for the biggest part of my YouTube career, I haven't really wanted to grow an audience in Australia. I've always liked being not so well known here, but having a big audience overseas. It's funny, I was just talking about how I don't think I want a long distance relationship, but clearly I want long distance friendships with subscribers. It's like in Australia, people come up and they say hi every now and then, and because it's not happening like all the time, I get to actually spend time with you guys and get to know you and hear your stories, and I absolutely love that. But obviously it would be different now because, you know, me on YouTube isn't like me on YouTube 7-8 years ago. But when I used to go to America or the UK, I would get stopped a lot. And while it was cool, it was also overwhelming because I like to give so much energy back to people, and also because I deal with social anxiety. So I feel like if that was happening every single day, I wouldn't deal so well with it. So I've liked having the audience more so overseas than here. Also, in the beginning, it was strategic for brand deals too, because Australian brands didn't used to really understand that they could make money out of influencer marketing. It was the American and the UK brands who did, and they paid a lot more, and they didn't mind that I was in Australia. Now I get a lot of brands reaching out, wanting to work with me, and then when they find out I'm in Australia, they end up wanting to go for someone who's based in the US, even though my audience is based in the US. I just literally like 2 weeks ago had a brand deal of my dreams with a car company come through. Yeah, and then when I mentioned that I was in Australia, they were like, oh, sorry, this is just for American-based creators. And that happens a lot. It's happening more since COVID than pre-COVID for some reason. I don't know why it changed, but also during COVID, all of a sudden, Australian brands started upping their budgets as well. So yeah, sorry for the long explanation, but yes, I would love to grow my local audience more at this stage in time. I'm trying to figure that out. I think once I move to the city, I'm going to try and do a lot more collaboration. I'm still learning to be okay with other people being in the videos. I've been a bit funny about having people in the videos too much over the years, and I'm still learning to trust people more with that sort of thing. Still learning to get out of my head, and even, you know, there's this part of me that's always like, oh, I don't want to bother my friends by asking them to be in my videos, and then my friends are always like, yo, would love to be in your videos. So yeah, I got to become a bit more comfortable with that, network more, you know, collaborate more. So I think collaboration is always the key to growth. So I just need to collaborate with more Melbourne-based creators. Charles Georgia asked, why don't you wear jeans? So I used to wear jeans too much. I wore them 24/7. And then I started wearing non-jean pants. Is that even how to describe it? And yeah, I just kind of stopped wearing jeans then. And also, I'm not really a big fan of slim jeans anymore. I feel like that phase has kind of been and gone, and honestly, that's a good thing. I never found them that comfortable. Most of my jeans are pretty slim, and I can't be bothered. I don't want to go out and spend a lot of money on buying more loose-fitting jeans. I'm just kind of enjoying the non-jean look. Like today, I'm wearing just some khaki cargo pants. Sarah asks, would I ever do TV or reality TV? Look, you guys don't want to see me on the next episode of YouTube Once a Wife. In all seriousness, I would love to host a show. That sounds like it would be a lot of fun. Who knows, if an opportunity like that ever came along, I would love something like that. In terms of reality TV, I've had a few people approach me to be on a few different shows. Nothing has quite been the right fit. I can't see myself on a reality dating show. Yeah, I think I'm just a bit too old-fashioned. As much as I love the premise of Love is Blind, I can't imagine meeting the love of my life on a reality show. And you've always got to ask yourself, why are these people really on these shows? Is it just to you know, get famous, to make money, to get clout? I don't know. I definitely don't think my trust issues could handle a reality dating show. That would just be wild for me. Also, I don't like drama, and those shows, they love the drama. So if it was a show that wasn't all about drama, maybe like a cooking show or something like that, I'd be open to doing it. So never say never. I think the right reality show could be fun. And let me answer 2 more questions and then we'll wrap this up, because I'm sure I've dragged it on. Lovewind says, am I planning to write any more books in the future? Not in the foreseeable future. I loved the whole process of writing the book that I did write, but yeah, I just couldn't figure out how to sell it properly. I'm going to answer 1 more question and then we're going to call it a day, because I know I've talked a lot. The last question comes from Carol Jean, and she asks, what are your spiritual beliefs and do you train your daughters in them? So I'm a Christian. I've spoken about that, I feel like, in a lot of videos. And yes, I definitely teach my daughters about Jesus Christ and the Bible. We go to church every single Sunday that they're with me, and we pray together, and yeah, that's it for today's video. If you like this video, I'd appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, because it is a very new channel, so I appreciate all the people yeah, showing love and support. And I'll see you guys soon. I don't know how soon it will be, because I am going to have surgery in 2 days. I don't know how long the recovery is going to be. I'm hoping it'll be quick. I'm having faith that it will be quick and not too bad. Either way, I'm going to be good. All right, bye guys.